It's almost here. I can't believe it. Soon, explorers, we will be passing through these gates and into the wondrous world of Rise of the Resistance. We've been hearing about this sucker for a long time, from day one. From the second we learned that Star Wars Land was coming, we knew that there was going to be one, a Millennium Falcon ride, and two, a quote, epic space adventure, the First Order battle escape as it was known for many months, and that was it. Those were the notions, the only notions that we had about what Star Wars Land would be. We didn't have names, we didn't have Galaxy's Edge or Batuu or any of that. We just knew that there was going to be Millennium Falcon and a First Order battle escape ride. And since the ride opened here in Disney's Hollywood Studios on August 29th, we've been able to pilot the Falcon, but we have not stepped anywhere close to a Star Destroyer. But that all changes on December 5th. In exactly 3 weeks, Rise of the Resistance will be opening here in Disney's Hollywood Studios. And there is a lot to look forward to, but since we're only 3 weeks out, I'm going to give you my top 3 #1 reasons why I am excited for Rise of the Resistance here in Galaxy's Edge. Number 1, the length of the attraction. Folks, we are in for a long ride, or at least a long experience. Some original reports for the in-production First Order Battle Escape attraction suggested that the ride would last over 28 minutes. That sounded amazing. Walt Disney World in the past, as it were, has been no stranger to longer dark ride attractions. Up until recently, guests could spend sizable chunks of time in Universe of Energy and the Great Movie Ride, which both clocked in at about 45 and 22 minutes respectively. These were high capacity and slow moving, and one in particular had a reputation for being low energy and air conditioned. The only other attractions that would have competed with these durations were stage shows or 3D presentations. Both of these long-running dark rides have since been closed to make way for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. While it's probably unwise to compare this attraction to anything that exists so far, perhaps the most apt or closest comparison for the experience I'm assuming we'll be getting would be to that of Pirates of the Caribbean in Disneyland, which now has one of the longest dark ride runtimes at nearly 16 minutes. It's my all-time favorite attraction, and surely that of many others, so that comparison is truly exciting to me. Pirates, of course, is a slow-moving but nevertheless high-energy attraction. While some aspects of the ride are a touch more relaxing than other parts, the experience delivers its fair share of astonishing moments. With its extended runtime, Pirates has the ability to really stretch its legs and tell a compelling story. Not necessarily a narrative one, but we get to experience a pirate's life. We're put into the middle of the action, going through harrowing scenes of a seaside harbor battle, the town center burning up in epic flames, and of course a cast of colorful characters performing the best in family-friendly pirate-esque debauchery. Overall, from beginning to end, it's a meticulously laid-out adventure. Rise of the Resistance, I'm supposing, will be more in the vein of this experiential storytelling and less in the succinct and rapid recountings we may find in, Fantasyland dark rides. Don't get me wrong, I love Fantasyland type dark rides. They're iconic, they're charming, and I really think Disney would do good to create more of them. Having said that, none of them really reinvent the wheel. All are simple in their style, and again, that's certainly not a bad thing. Just because something isn't ambitious and groundbreaking doesn't make it unenjoyable or unnecessary. But all of these dark rides are quick, real quick. I always find myself surprised at how quick they end. This is not the case with a ride like Pirates of the Caribbean, and it certainly won't be the case for a ride like Rise. You're really gonna feel like you get your money's worth. Rise, of course, will be different from Pirates. As far as we can tell, these 8-seater fleet transports won't be gently floating by the warmly lit diners in Docking Bay 7. From what we can deduce, this attraction promises high thrills and high energy for what I imagine will be the full runtime of the ride. Now, so far it's unclear whether this estimate is in regards to the time you're actually sitting down strapped in the attraction, or if this is more of a broader total experience time from the moment you leave the general queue and are thrust into the ride storyline. We know that this ride will be incorporating a whole slew of different ride technologies, including motion simulator, trackless dark ride systems, some cool new projection and laser effects, and even sudden stops and drops, some of which require actually changing ride vehicles. So, while it's likely that the length is in regards to all of these different elements being stacked on top of one another, it could also be including this setting transition time. From the few who have had the privilege to see inside, we've learned the queue itself, the waiting rooms themselves, or even these transition rooms are breathtaking and highly detailed and extremely immersive. So again, it's very possible that this runtime could include the time it takes to transition from scenes in varying vehicles. The ride layout and general story are available via a quick Google search, so perhaps these speculations already have answers. I've been sparing myself from these details and spoilers, so I'll have little to expect going in on December 5th. Nevertheless, my expectations are high, and however long the attraction will be, it likely still won't feel long enough. So whatever the ultimate experience will be, we can guarantee that this is Galaxy's Edge pretty much flagship attraction. We can expect long wait times. I'm not thinking in the same vein as Millennium Falcon. This is going to be more along the lines of, Pandora, Flight of Passage, which even being open for years now is still seeing wait times of 2-3 hours or more some days. But knowing that this attraction is going to have a long experience, it sort of justifies that long wait time that we will experience while waiting for the ride. We're sort of going to be getting a little more bang for our buck. If we're going to have a 25-minute experience, hey, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be worth waiting a couple hours for. And maybe that long ride time will make that long wait time feel a little less nightmarish. Hopefully. So that's the first thing I'm excited for, the rumored length of the attraction. Number 2, this thing is going to be packed with audio-animatronics. Hundreds of them. Rise of the Resistance is going to be huge. Strike that. Rise of the Resistance is huge. The elegant spires of Batuu disguise something incredibly impressive, a massive show building. These scenes that the Imagineers have been cooking up are going to be mammoth. So the fact that this space is going to be populated with so many audio-animatronics makes sense. Audio-animatronics are a crucial form of Disney entertainment. Set in motion by Walt Disney himself, audio-animatronics were designed to offer perfect presentation where human performance would stumble. Whether it be a choir of singing tiki birds, a hall of former American leaders, or waltzing apparitions and beyond, audio-animatronics have offered enchanting spectacle to Disney Parks guests for decades. They provide an avenue where animation can leap off of the page and flourish in 3 dimensions. It's one of my favorite Disney elements. Over the years, technology has advanced considerably, and this has helped further audio-animatronics certainly, but it's also opened distinctive doors for other varying technologies. This is also not a bad thing. But lately we've seen Disney and a lot of theme parks making a slow transition to screen-based entertainment, utilizing screens more than the tangible thing that gave Disney Magic its charm. Maybe because it's easier, maybe because it's cheaper, and maybe because that's the clay Imagineering really wants to sculpt with right now. Again, this is not a bad thing. These developments have given us great attractions like Soarin' or Flight of Passage and more. But on the other hand, when Imagineers are given the opportunity, they're making the most impressive audio-animatronics ever. Consider recent efforts like in the Na'vi River Journey in Animal Kingdom. The animatronic of the Na'vi shaman is so impressive, and they know it. It's the grand finale of that entire attraction, but there's only one. The rest of that ride is screens and colorful. The effects are impressive and the screens are more or less convincing, but they're screens nonetheless. I wonder if the overall lacklusterly received ride would be more admired should it incorporate a few more animatronics. Also, it's a very short boat ride, so we can refer back to reason number 1. Rides and attractions featuring audio-animatronics are still happening from time to time, but Rise of the Resistance is making a more concerted effort, it feels, to incorporate more of that beloved wonder into this experience. And as you can see, lately, animatronics have never looked better, and it's not just the Na'vi shaman. Look at Hondo, or look at Belle for the upcoming Beauty and the Beast dark ride in Tokyo Disneyland. It's amazing. They literally bring imagination into reality. Early estimates suggest that Rise of the Resistance will be home to around 300 brand new and innovative audio-animatronic figures. The inclusion of so many audio-animatronics just spells out a rewarding experience to me. And from what little we understand, we already know a taste of the variety of things we'll be seeing. Whether it be a fully loaded garrison of First-Order troopers, random and roaming droids of varying proportions, or full-size, larger-than-life, huge, mammoth, screen-accurate AT-ATs. Rise of the Resistance is sure to offer some of the best audio-animatronics we have ever seen. Ever. No wonder the spires are so big. They're housing AT-ATs in there. And that's only 2 of the rumored animatronics that are going to be in there. So yeah, number 2. Audio-animatronics. Which brings me to my third number 1 reason I am most excited for Rise of the Resistance. The Star Wars land we were presented and promised back in 2015, over 4 years ago, will officially be here. It'll finally be done. When Bob Iger stood on that stage over 4 years ago, he boasted about the yet-to-be-named Star Wars lands coming to Disney parks. A multi-million-dollar experience, 14 acres, the grandest and most visionary undertaking in Disney history. Here in Star Wars Land, we could meet our galactic heroes, and it was here we could pilot the Millennium Falcon, and it would be here where we could live out our own personal Star Wars dreams, by way of Disney magic. But one thing in particular rang out for many, or at least I know it did for me.
And the epic Star Wars adventure that puts you right in the middle of a climactic battle between the First Order and the Resistance.
And from then on out, this was my number one anticipation. Of all the amazing developments we learned over the construction of Galaxy's Edge, nothing could quite quell my excitement for Disney's, quote, largest and most ambitious ride experience to date. Walking through the tunnel on August 29th, stepping into Galaxy's Edge for the first time was a tremendous experience. The sounds and sights of Batuu quickly washed over me as I was immersed into an overwhelming world of Star Wars. I was amazed by the land, I was impressed by the theming, and seeing the Millennium Falcon before me took my breath away. It was a great day. But even then, it still felt like something was missing. The land, as I had built it up to be, felt incomplete, and from day one on Batuu till today, that infatuation has only been heightened as my anticipation for the completed Star Wars land that Disney has assembled continues to grow and grow. My expectations are unreasonably high, and yet I still think they will be met. The construction of Rise of the Resistance has met some issues, some of them causing some significant delays. While I would have loved to have experienced Galaxy's Edge as intended from day one in fully operational form, I cannot fault Disney for wanting to get people through the tunnels, and I'm thankful for that, really. It's been great to go board the Falcon and chomp on a Ronto wrap these last few months. In my mind, Galaxy's Edge so far has been the single gift you get to open on Christmas Eve. But I've got a feeling that Rise of the Resistance is going to be Christmas morning. Now that statement is surely a disservice to the numerous Imagineers who have poured into this land and all the elements within. I don't care what anyone says. Frankly put, the land is a success. But don't mistake my previous words for hyperbole. This ride is going to change everything. This ride, by Imagineering's own admission, is going to be the greatest, boldest, and most revolutionary ride that has ever been imagined. And on December 5th, that speculation turns to fact. That anticipation turns to wonder. Our hope turns to unforgettable Star Wars and Disney memories. On December 5th and January 17th in Disneyland, Galaxy's Edge will be complete. For now, at least, as it was originally intended.
And so there you have it. That's my top three reasons I'm anticipating Rise of the Resistance. You know, we hear a lot of complaining, especially a lot of complaining when it comes to this place, Galaxy's Edge. But you know what? These are the things that I'm excited about. The things I'm most excited for about Rise of the Resistance. And that's not even mentioning
lightsabers, stormtroopers, the Force, Star Destroyers, TIE Fighters, and holograms, stormtroopers, AT-ATs, Kylo Ren, droid-chauffeured trackless ride vehicles, stormtroopers and blasters, and actual laser fire going over your head, and Vimerati, and stormtroopers, and droids, and lightsabers, and stormtroopers! Stormtroopers!
So many stormtroopers! So that's all for now, explorers, but remember, we're going to be back on December 5th to ride the rise. Hashtag ride the rise. So make sure you're subbed to the channel so you can ride it with us. And to think, how much longer will this space here be walkable? Not much longer. But remember, those are the things that I'm most excited about. I want to hear about you. What are you most looking forward to? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, we'll see you in the happy place. Bye!